Today, I want to talk to you about recovering from an injury or something like that while on the carnivore diet. Like, what are the best foods on carnivore or any type of diet for that matter? But I really want to go specific to carnivore. And then also, towards the end, I'm going to give you a couple of bonus tips that I think really will maximize that as well. So, let's start out here talking a little bit about, we're talking here more around um, injuries. Like I recently had a hamstring injury, right? So we're talking about like muscle, tendons, tissue injuries, that kind of stuff, right? Even for like bone fractures, really, any of those types of injuries. First of all, I think that carnivore diet or a very low carb diet is going to be the best way to eat to help with repair and recovery from this injury. But let's go into some details with that. Like, what foods within carnivore are the best for the different types of healing, right? So, first thing is you want to make sure that you're supplying plenty of protein to your body, protein and amino acids for tissue repair. Okay, so getting the best micronutrients that you can get. This helps to support collagen synthesis, bone healing, and inflammation control within your body. So, first thing is, if you're eating a standard diet and you're eating a lot of junk food, that's going to slow your recovery because it's going to add more inflammation to your body. So you want to stay away from that. And when you're doing a low carb or a carnivore diet, you want to make sure that you're really clean when you're in that recovery repair phase of an injury. Eat clean, because if you add a little bit of things that you wouldn't normally eat, you're going to add a little bit of inflammation already to your body that you already have inflammation, because inflammation is out there trying to fix your injury, right? So let's go into the best meats. Beef and lamb are two great meats for sources of protein, all the vitamins that you need, like, the B vitamins and so forth, that are going to be crucial for your muscle repair and support to your immune system. Okay. So that's going to be huge. Some of the best cuts of beef for me would be like ribeye, New York strip, ground beef, chuck roast, things like that, right? Those are things that I'd go with. Uh, Now, the next thing that I would really look at would be bone broth and collagen rich type of food, right? So we're talking, if you can make your own bone broth, that's going to be the best. You get bones, you can simmer them 12 to 24 hours, somewhere in that range, and you're going to get a lot of good nutrients from them. Okay. Um, you're going to get collagen from it, which is good. Also, though, outside of doing like bone broth, different things like skin on chicken. So chicken legs, chicken thighs, chicken wings that have the skin on them are good for that collagen. And the collagen is going to be a good building block for repairing connective tissue, tendons, and ligaments within your body. Okay, the next one that I'm going to talk about here that's a good food to eat would be uh, oily type of fish. So we're talking about like salmon, sardines, stuff like that, right? Things that you're going to get high omega-3 fatty acids, and they're good for anti-inflammatory. So it helps get the inflammation down, reduce the swelling, and support the healing of your tissues. Okay, next is eggs, and probably more importantly, the yolk of the eggs. They're very rich, have protein in them, have choline, which is important for cellular repair in your body. So that's really good. Plenty of vitamins, very good for you. Another option within carnivore that I usually don't eat, but is a very good option when you're trying to recover from an injury, is organ meats. So things like liver, for instance, they're going to be good. They're going to have a good amount of collagen. They're going to help support immune function and give you energy as well during your recovery time frame. Another thing that is going to be very important for you is minerals. We're talking about things like sodium, potassium, magnesium, your electrolytes, right? Those are going to be really good. They help with the function of your nerves, your muscles, contraction of your muscles, and so forth, and cellular healing. So a good quality sea salt, pink Himalayan salt, Redmond's real salt, those are all going to be really good for you. And what I like to do is I take a pinch of the Redmond's real salt, put it under my tongue, let it kind of absorb a little bit over a couple seconds, and then drink it down with some water. That's a really good thing to get your electrolytes in a good spot. All right, so creatine is another thing that is very good. So you want creatine rich meats. What's probably the best source of a creatine rich meat? Red meat, beef, lamb, like we already talked about earlier. Um, it's something that is going to be really good for repair and recovery of your muscles. So creatine is a big thing that I think works really, really well. And you can get it just from sources like red meat, um, you know, and do it that way. Now, I did say I'd have a couple of bonus tips here. And one of them is not just getting your creatine that way, but also supplementing creatine. And you can do like what I actually will do is I use some of the creatine monohydrate, and I'll put like a teaspoon's worth or whatever, and put that in my mouth, and then drink it down with water. And that's something that is really good for your recovery. Like I said, helping you to have a quicker recovery on things, repairing of your muscles, that kind of stuff. So that is a good bonus tip on top of the food, the meat, and so forth that you can eat. Is you can use um, the creatine. Now, another one that I'm going to call out is going to be something called Stem Enhance Ultra, and it's made by Cerule. And here it is right here. Now, I've been taking this here for, I think, probably about 3 years now. I originally fixed a shoulder injury that I had um, that lingered for several years. And it was a rotator cuff injury. And I started taking the Cerule. I actually do 3 servings a day. So there's 2 capsules in a serving. So I would do 2 capsules in the morning, about 6 to 8 hours later, another 2 capsules, and then before bed, another 2 capsules, right? And probably within a couple of months, my, my shoulder was completely healed to where I wasn't having any more pain anymore. I could lift stuff, no problem, do all this, and just no issues. So I've been taking Cerule for about the Stem Enhance Ultra for about 3 years now. And with the hamstring injury that I've recently had, I'm actually doubled what I'm taking at the moment. So I'm taking, instead of 3 servings a day, I'm taking 6 servings a day. So I'm doing 2 servings in the morning, 2 about 6 to 8 hours later, and 2 and night basically before bed. So I'm getting 6 servings a day. And I think it's really, really helping us too for my recovery, my repair of my cells. What it does is it helps to get your stem cells that are in your body to break loose and go through your blood vessels to the right areas that they need to for recovery and repair of your cells. So I think that that's another enhancement to the carnivore diet. And that's my second bonus tip that I would give you for best ways to repair and recover from an injury. Again, the food, the diet is the biggest thing. And that's why I promote carnivore diet or a very low carb diet, because you're going to get rid of the foods that tend to cause inflammation, and you're going to eat a lot of the foods that help with recovery and so forth. And that's why so many people, as they get older and they're doing a carnivore diet or eating this way, they tend to feel so much better than they have in years, because that their body is repairing and recovering and so forth, and repairing itself and whatever. So those are my keys. If you got any more great ideas or keys that can help with injury recovery, put them in the comments down below. I'd like to see them. And I usually do a good job of reading all the comments and getting back to people and so forth.